Yo, everybody. Anyone who is on this now, come join me. Come join me. I'm going to be working on my MAJORAS mask right now, everybody. I'm working on my live setup right now, so I know I'm looking funky. Don't have a lot of time right now, so I'm trying to catch my morning really in doing this. So I'm going to get better. Sorry for anyone who's frustrated at my shenanigans. So what I'm working on right now is I was working before on highlighting and lining out all my stuff. As you can see right, I am crack-a-lackin' on, so as we can see, my Majora here is coming along. Look at this. Trying to get some of the lights out of my way here. There we go. So there we go. Here we go. This is right here going on a on the standard MAJORAS mask, which if anyone who knows anything about MAJORAS mask knows that these horns are usually thicker. I prefer a more kind of what I would call realistic look. So this is going to have kind of a bony feel to it. And with that, I'm going to just show you what I did in order to create this and go from there on the actual cosplay look of it. I will be looking for anyone who wants to join in on this to see if I can, I'm willing to give this away right here. I would like to get myself to a subscriber point of about, I would like to get myself to 1,000 subscribers to start. So with that, I would enjoy everyone to like, subscribe, and notify and start catching up on these things here. But right now, what I'm gonna be working on is I am going to be painting on this sucker. Okay, let me do this, yeah. Sorry, y'all, I'm getting there. It's gonna get better and better. Hell, if anything else, these will just be fun someday. Okay, so as time goes on, I am going to be setting up my live setup a lot better, better cameras, better things, better sound, better all that. But as of now, I am just going to be kind of doing this raw to start. As a matter of fact, I am doing this very raw, y'all. So anyone who is into this kind of stuff, please just realize anyone can do this. If you got a great idea, please, let's check it out. Okay, let me get myself set up here. Okay. Once again, my Majora. So, like I said before, I am looking forward to getting rid of my MAJORAS mask. Hold on here. Okay. I'll get myself a little bit of water. So set up. Cool. On this one here, I was working last time on trimming out the black lines around the eyes. Got them nice and clean looking. Gives it a lot more pizzazz. And then like I was doing last time, I was working specifically on the aging aspect of it. I was going through and adding simple colors. I'm using acrylics right now. I got my black and my brown acrylics, and I'm going through and I'm just going to be adding a little bit of texture and a little bit of, not texture, a little bit of shading, darkening, just weathering. I have enough weathering in there, so now I'm going to be working on just keeping things, I'm trying to get the tone right on it. Some things look a little too dark for me. I'm eventually probably going to pop the color up a little bit all the way around on certain things, or just start highlighting certain areas. It's always up to you. But of course, like anything else, if anyone is interested in seeing something specific with my MAJORAS mask, let me know. I would love to see if anyone's anyone's interested in me doing something more with this. I am going to be adding LED lights. I love working with Arduino. I love working with my circuit boards and all that kind of setup. So, yeah, this right here is going to be a lot of fun. It's only going to get better. I would love to see more people on the channel because it's going to get more fun. I got myself a little 8-year-old boy. He is a blast and a half. We're working Legos. We're working all sorts of fun things. So for everyone, please come take a look at the channel. It's a blast. He's going to be – my son is awesome. He cracks me up. He really is. He's so funny. He's going to be so fun to watch. He's been dying to get a channel going for a while now. All he did was every time he would watch his shows that he loves, all he ever does is sit around going, Dad, I want to do a channel. When are we going to do our channel? When are we going to do our channel? It took a while. I was building my channel kind of on a semi-slow basis and setting up. I got myself a ton of video in the background. For everyone who's into art and wants to see things continually going, my show is going to be literally nonstop if I want it to be. I just need to get going. Money is an issue. So I got to go to work, y'all. Stinks. But who doesn't have to go to work? That's life. I'm going to be working on the eyes right now. I'm going to be trying to get this eye to match this eye. And I want to get rid of, I have a little bit of bordering that I don't like. It looks just janky. I have right up into here. It's kind of a turkey to see it. Sorry for the camera, y'all. I'm trying to get this thing set up. I just know if you don't start putting out more shows, you'll never get the algorithm to look at you. So I'm just going to start getting my stuff set up to where people will be able to see me if they want to. Like everything else, go to my website. I am going to start adding some more of these things to my website. If these things start to pop, people like them, I'm going to start adding them to my website. This right here is a mold I made, and it can be remade over and over and over. So once again, if you like the Majora's Mask, I can change pretty much any style of it, which is pretty cool. I could change the horns all the way around. I could change the color, of course. I only molded just the head itself, just the face part of the mask. The horns are always going to have to be add-ons in my setup, so I can change the horn styles for whoever wants anything. So let's see here, guys. I am going to be, like I said, I'm going to start slamming down some of this. I'm going to be putting in this eye right here. I have already kind of got some decent shading with. This one over here, you can even see it. It kind of pops a little more. And the reason why it pops a little more is I have a little more yellow than I'm on there. So the way it goes. Anyone see Star Wars? Star Wars. Huge fan. Huge fan. I know everyone's got their thing about it. Me and my son, he's 8. He loves it. Loves it. So do I. He's my boy. He's my boy. Love my boy. So I'm getting in. Just getting a color I like. Okay. So I have been a painter since I can remember. I was a wee little squirt when I was starting my art career. As a matter of fact, I can remember my art career starting at 6 years old. Remember it very well. I had just drawn Garfield for the first time. And when I drew Garfield for the first time, I fell in love with art. I fell in love with art when I had Garfield. I did all the series, Garfield, Odie, as a matter of fact. My first dog was named Odie. Love that little dog. He was so cool. Toughest little awesome mutt cool dog in the world. Cool, everybody. So, for anyone who wants to join in on this, I don't spend money on brushes. I dust brushes off like I dust off shoes and pants. I don't know why. I don't know how people can go through pants how do you not have holes in your knees? I get holes in my knees from working, and I'm an electrician, so I have to do the little plugs on the bottom. So I'm always having to go from here to here to here to here, and it's a turkey squeezer. Okay, everybody. For me, I never really overload my brush. I keep my brush light, actually. I keep my stuff very liquidy, very light. What I like to do with it is I like to layer. So my stuff takes a lot longer than most, but I like the look of mine over a lot of other things just because I layer, which I know a lot of people do. So this is not just me and some ninja style that I learned in some Shaolin temple or nothing. No, this is just me, and I like taking time with stuff. There are those who are just darn fast. When I get my airbrush, it's going to speed things up exponentially. But as of now, is what it is. I'm going to be clipping probably about 25, 30-minute segments. So that's how long these are going to go for. Please bring people to the channel. I'm going to be goofy. I am goofy. Sorry about that. Heck, watch me paint and listen to me jabber. Parrot. Okay. So a little bit about me while I'm jabbering here. No one really knows anything about me. I have been an artist, like I said, since I was 6. I have gone down a few professional roads. I tend to like to do things kind of on my own. I've learned from a lot of amazing artists. I've been taken under the wing and mentored from a few in my life that had made me realize, college is good if you want to get yourself into an area where you need to be networking, need to be moving in that direction. I like to go more freelance. I think it's because my Navy background that I got. I know it sounds crazy to say freelance and one of the largest organizations, U.S. military, but I have to say the one thing that I did learn very, very adamantly when I was in the Navy back in the late 90s, early 2000s was self-reliance. Jeez, it's the funniest thing. You're around more people than you can possibly shake a stick at in your life. I've never been around that many people in my life, really. Had more friends than I've ever had. And I had never been more able to be my own person. It's hard to explain. Not advocating for anything, but just saying I enjoyed what I did. I was electronics. I worked on FA-18 Hornets. I was an AT, aviation technician, electronics. Always an artist, though. Kind of think I'm a little weird on that because I love math. I'm telling you right now, if this ever gets to any other artist's ears, they themselves will probably laugh a little at that because not many artists enjoy math. Most artists I've seen, could be wrong, enjoy English. That's my assessment, which I live in the mountains. Live in the mountains of California. So everyone, holiday season's over. Everyone have fun with it? Hope so. Me and my boy got some cool toys, Legos. We're going to be building, making, and doing stuff on our channel. So what I'm going to be doing on my channel to set myself up, because I do know that they just set up the new algorithm for YouTube to keep children, people not advertising to children. I think it's what's it called? Starts with a C. COPPA. And since COPPA got brought to light, that's just the way it is. I came into my YouTube channel pretty much the day before COPPA, and that's all I've known is this new algorithm style that I've been running with. So for me, what I'm going to do for everyone to make sense of my channel, if this works, the algorithm lets me, and YouTube says bueno with it, I'm going to have DaddyBot and JohnnyTronic. If it's going to be a DaddyBot episode, DaddyBot will swing around more into the front of the screen. And if there is a logo with me on it and my son Johnny on it, I will swing into the forefront. So it'll be JohnnyTronic it'll be DaddyBot with me sliding into the front, showcasing that this is going to be a adult episode. The other will be if it's my JohnnyTronic episode, JohnnyTronic will slide into the front of the screen, and if there's a logo of my son, it will be boom, he'll come up with that as well on the front. So that way everyone will know if this is a kids episode, and it'll probably say 4 kids underneath it and 4 adults. I'm gonna be clear with my content. I'm not a famous YouTuber at all in the slightest. I'm just an artist. Whatever. So I'm going to start doing this, I think, on a darn near daily basis for right now. Since this is Monday, I'm going to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday on this week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I am going to be here at 7 in the morning, and I might do a later show because I want Majora's Mask done. I ain't going to lie to you. I have so many projects. I start a lot of projects. And with that, I am going to be flooding this with just tons and tons of shenanigans. Like I said, my setup's going to get better, which is going to be fun. You're going to see this one. It's going to be a little bit. And then from here on out, hopefully the quality is going to go up. Join me with the quality. So there's that. I'm going to dunk into my horn here because this horn is the last of my horns that need to be addressed. It's 7 in the morning in California. I hope you got your beverage of choice. For all you Brits out there, this is tea. Coffee. But I love tea, though. Get me wrong. You'll see me switch it up because I'm trying to reduce my quantiferous caffeine intake. So let me get back to the story of the Goomba here. So I did my Navy career, which was a lot of fun. It actually was a lot of fun. I know that sounds crazy because I'm not, it's hard to explain. I'm not a military-esque person. I think I just like the design of things. I worked on F-18s. I love the sleek lines. When my drawing style, I used to do a lot of vehicle style stuff back when I was in my youth. The kids used to draw the papers with just all sorts of gibberish all over it with, aircrafts coming in this way and tanks going across the bottom. Yes, that was me. I was a dork of a boy. Still a dork of a boy now. What do you do? What do you do? Do. So everybody, me and my boy are going to set up a Twitch account as well. So we'll both be playing on Twitch games. And I'm also going to be setting up some of my art stuff as well on Twitch. Once I get a little bit of a group following, I'm still exploring some of these arenas. So if anybody has something, please let me know. Okay. So on the Juan, I've already added a few colors into it. Dang, I need to get better lighting for this. Sorry, y'all. So this horn you can kind of see. I've already browned it. Gave it a little aging. This one here, it's hard to see right here in this color. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. This is horrible. But I got a little orange up in the top right here. I've already started to kind of flood some color in. You can see how in the back corners here, I have blue, green, red. And this one's supposed to be more of the just straight yellow, but I kind of did a little orange on it to kind of give it some flavor. And then I'm going to add, these are going to get deeper as time goes. And of course, it's going to mimic on this side as well. So this, like I said, I want everyone to see, this is my Majora's Mask. Super thin, super lightweight. This thing here doesn't take but, I mean, it goes on easy. It actually, I can see very well from it. So what I'm going to be doing is making screens for these. What I want to do is make screens for them. Yellow tinted resin with a light around the outside of the, so inside of here, I'm going to build a rail with LEDs, you know, pointing into the lens. So that way the eyes will glow. And I want to have an intensity set up on the light so that way I can raise or lower the intensity so I can make the eyes really glow. And I would love to have them on a color setup. So that way if I want to, I can kick a little color in there to find out the dynamics of maybe making it a little more red. You know, because Majora, you can see Majora's kind of energy as the eyes glow more and more. So the story of Majora, as I can see, comes from the Zelda, Legends of Zelda. I think it's called Majora's Mask, if I'm not mistaken. Pete, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment. But it's from Majora's Mask. Now, Majora's Mask, the game. So we got Breath of the Wild. We got my 8-year-old a Switch 2, so it's kind of cool. So we got the Switch, and one of the games that I saw on the, I mean, this was before I was really paying too much attention because now I'm pretty up on it. But when I first started, I didn't know what really the best game was, and I was looking on Switch to see what do you guys classify as one of your better games. And of course, they just came out with Breath of the Wild, and they were promoting it like crazy. Switch was still you know, little into the Switch of it, so it had been out for a little bit. And I'm trying to do a little spongy. Go on the ground. Did I knock a little spongy? Oh. Yeah, right where I never put it. So yeah, so Majora comes from the Zelda episode. I mean, the Zelda series, which takes Link on a journey. It's artistically one of my favorites because I can see how you can really have a lot of fun. On one of mine, I'm going to add the horns and I'm going to put the lunar moon over the back of them as a thematic piece to hang on your wall with lights and whatnot. So I'm gonna have LEDs. I'm thinking about putting a clock on it, and I'm thinking about making it a, because in the Breath of the Wild, they do something a little different. Now, I don't know if I want to mix the two together because it does sound fun for me to do, but that don't make it right. Because I don't want to be pissing off any of the high quality fans here, which I mean that seriously, because Zelda is a great series and there are some high quality fans. So with that, I am going to say, I don't know if I want to add the blood moon portion to it. So like at a certain time in the Breath of the Wild, all of a sudden you can kill off all the characters in the whole game board. You can clear the map with a nuke. And for whatever reason, blood moon comes around, boom, all the characters come back. So with that, I don't know if I want the lunar moon that I make to glow red. That would just be sweet. The lunar moon kicking the blood moon over. So I want to mix Majora's Mask world in to a thematic piece with the lunar moon. And if anyone knows the lunar moon, just a big moon with a face on it that looks So That is kind of a disheveled, mixed way of talking about Majora's Mask, mixed in with what I'm going to do with it, mixed in with. So yeah, Majora's Mask. Majora's on the Breath of the Wild we like because it's just, of course, just the mask. It's not the caricature of this mask coming to fruition. It is just the mask itself, and what it does is, for the most case, most of the characters, if you're wearing this, the bad dudes tend to not mess with you as much. There are, of course, more intelligent bad dudes that will not fall for this as easily, but they all tend to have their moment in the sun with this. So they'll all kind of let the Majora's Mask character, when Link is wearing it, kind of slide through. So my son, this is his favorite mask. And I think it's his favorite mask because if you go on and take a look at it, it's so colorful. It's so beautiful. It really is. I mean, the colors are gorgeous. I'm doing a different colors. The scheme that the color scheme I'm using for this is this thing has been sitting in the forest, maybe, I don't know, sitting somewhere in a dusty shelf in a old forest cabin that had been forgotten about for 100 years. And this was sitting in the dusty spot somewhere. So this has an older, been played feel to it. And I'm kind of working with it makes it a little more, I think, easier and fun for me, because right now on this piece, my airbrush dumped, not my airbrush, I have two airbrushes, they work great. I have a Pache and a Badger. I have a couple Paches actually, and I have two Badgers. I like to have double action. I know most people don't if they're going to be doing modeling and whatnot. I'm usually doing painting of this nature, so I love my double actions because I like to be able to get nice and thin and then pull back out and do stuff. So I have my way, and my way tends to be a double action way. Doesn't make single action any less quality. I've seen best of the best. They don't need to have any specific tool. You give them anything, they can create a masterpiece with it. You give them a stick and some dirt, and all of a sudden you'll have a Mona Lisa. That's what quality artists can do. I'm pretty good at most areas. I'm way above average on almost all areas of art when it comes down to almost all areas. I sculpt, I paint, I airbrush, I can do digital art. I am currently working in my 3D art world. I created this in Blender. This is just a quick little statue of a bee dude. After the war, the bee dude has crushed it. That was a little placard I did for a buddy of mine. I haven't finished this. This is actually going to be finished on my website as well. I mean, on my YouTube right now and on my website. My website is dansartland1.com. DANSARTLAND 1, the number 1.com. Come check it out. These things, if people like them, guess what? I start pumping them out. I'm looking to see what people want. I mean, I like making things more than anything. I love cranking out new stuff. But if people like something, I love making that thing just gorgeous. So please, if you like anything, I will be eventually showcasing everything on my website that will be able to be for sale. Because right now I have a lot of stuff and I'm trying to figure out what anyone wants. I really am. I'm trying to figure out if people are looking for cosplay. I do cosplay. I make EVA swords that look, you couldn't tell. I already gave away all my EVA swords. EVA foam, that is. And I have, dude, I do lances. I do staffs. I make fake crystals. So I have a whole slew of like sweet fake crystal. So this here is I don't want to give it away too much. So I'll show you this as is. This is a crystal fountain I'm working on right now. As you can see, I got all the crystals on the outside of this thing coming together. Looks pretty sweet. As you can see, all the wire bundles coming out the back. Each one of these crystals has an LED light in it. Each one of these big ones. So the yellow crystals, the yellow, and this is yellow red, yellow purple, and yellow purple. So I did my yellow purples all on the bottom, and the top one I did yellow red. So what this does is I have a sweet fountain, and I have a casing for this that comes up and stops like right at the top. And then from there, it will trickle over into a little tank right here. And then from there, it will have a pump that just keeps pumping this thing around in a circle. And you're going to watch the water just fill up in this canister. So it's going to fill up all the way up. And it's a really cool looking tube. Okay, hold on. I'll get it. Yeah, okay. So this is it right here. So this, I went goofy, man. I'm a weird artist, so I like to really get in there and have some fun with mine. So as you can see, this piece is interesting in the fact that all these little crystals around here have got to fit just right, or else there it is. So this is a quick little toss on it. But as you can see, what I did with this, there it is. So the crystal at the very end is barely poking out of where the water will be, because if you could see here, the level, the water is going to come up, stop right here, cap it like right at the top, and you'll be seeing the light shine through and then go trickle over into this. I even have a little crystal actually poking through. I wanted it to go through the actual wall, because anything that may want to dribble into this bucket, because I'm going to have right around here, there's going to be a bowl, not a bowl, it's going to be a place for this to drop and then swirl. So it's going to drop, touch into a spot like right about here. So it doesn't have to go that far. So it's going to fall off, touch down right here, and then swirl into this water thing that's going to be pumping back through and around. Now underneath this, I am going to open up, put a little small thin box for just tubes. All the tubes that are going to be pumping water into this thing. So I'm going to drill another hole underneath to come through in there. And then that's just going to be pushing the water up. I opened this up because I just had to have a spot for all that. And then I'm going to close it off really cool. It's going to have vines, and it's just going to be artistic. The gray stuff is a artistic epoxy putty. 2-part epoxy putty. Mash them together, squeeze them, and sculpt it. Gives you about 3 hours. So I have yet to ever come to that 3-hour window and not have it finished. Do things small, do them little bits at a time. So I did, like, combining all these things together was kind of the hard part, but it actually wasn't. So really, I'm just letting you guys know, this is actually a lot, I have to say, easier than it looks. So this right here was my first. I wanted to have fun with something simple. So I took a cup. This part of the cup was in this part, and it was one of those thermal cups. So that way you can have coffee inside of a sweet looking cup. So there was this cup, and it was sitting inside of this cup, and there was probably about a 1/2-inch gap in between sitting inside of there. So there were just 2 cups within themselves, kind of, but essentially they were 1 cup. Thermal cup. So I cut the top off in a way that these would separate, glued them down in a way that made it to where as you can see here, it became this neat little, and then this, the tube, the actual crystalline portion of it is a copper water tube that you would use for plumbing. And I bent it into shape, drilled some holes to feed my wires through, And then some of it, like it's hard to see on this, but the very top, it looks a little swirly. So I just took the wires, mashed them around the outside edge of it, nice and clean. Put like a nice smooth piece of tape around it. For this, in order for it to stick, I like to use, it's gonna sound crazy, but I use, you know, the health professionals, the people who wrap up the hands and stuff, like the skin style tape that you would use for bandaging up. I use that because it's porous and it allows for the epoxy to mash into it. Keeps the wires tight. I wrap it around nice and tight, real thin little strips of it. So I put little thin strips all the way down. So I put a strip, a strip, a strip, a strip, a strip, just to keep the wires exactly the way I wanted them, because I didn't want them to be wiggly or anything in the slightest, because I wanted the epoxy to mash tight to it and not have any air pockets or bubbles inside there to get weird later. I wanted this to be super simple. Now, these crystals here I did out of resin. And I also, the funny thing is, the clear crystals, the ones that you see everywhere, all over it. Have fun with this. Hot glue gun sticks. You just cut them. Just nice, clean cuts. Cut them up, and they give you gorgeous crystals. So I'd cut up a bunch with scissors into the weird, wacky position things, and then you just take, get a lighter going or a torch or something, and then just hit it real fast. It'll take all the little parts that make it look not real, because it looks like a glue stick cut. You'll see weird little things that kind of have little weird little, almost like skin tags that you would have, you know, like little tags that would kind of hang off the thing. So you hit it real fast with a heat gun, it melts it instantly, and it kicks a shine to the to your glue stick. So if your glue stick's looking a little bit foggy from cutting it, which will happen, just hit it with a torch real quick, and it will glisten it back up to a nice clean shine. See them all? As you can see, I mean, you can watch. Watch this. Glue stick. Works great. And if you want, you can actually take the glue sticks, melt them down, add a little bit of coloring into them, and you can change the color right there, pour them into molds. Works the same. So it's a glue stick. So melt it, pour it into a mold, pull it back out. I recommend a 2-part mold, and to make sure you have all your because you're gonna have to eventually release it, and if you don't have good releasing agents on it, yeah, you're eating a big sandwich of ugly, due to the fact that it will stick like a son of a gun. So I like to do 2-part molds where things come together. You can pour in after you've got full release agent on the inner walls of your mold, pouring in the hot glue gun. And then, yeah, so you can take your hot glue gun, get a small little tin, like get an aluminum can, put a like candle underneath it, set your glue in there, monitor it like crazy. You can't walk away from it or you will burn it. It's aluminum, but this is the way I've done it to mix up. You just stay on top of it. I'll even take a heat gun just to get the can hot and melt it down fast. You know, a couple drops of dye, any kind of dye, it really doesn't matter. Mix it up real good. Try not to be a water-based dye. It doesn't matter. I don't think. It still worked for me. I've used acrylic paint in there. Whatever it takes, doesn't matter. If you want the opacity, you have to use an ink. Go get Indian ink. Works great. Get your color of Indian ink, drop or 2 in there, mix it up. Works stellar. So there's a lot of different ways to work with things. Have fun. I mean, make sure that things can go together. Water and oil don't mix. You can mix them. Just it won't be the same. I've tried everything. I'm not a millionaire. I have to do with what I have got. So I got myself set up right now, everybody. I'm going to be wrapping this up for the day. I will be coming back tonight to keep working on this. So I'm going to finish this up. I would love to have this done by the end of the week. That's what I want. And I would love to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of the week so I can give this away. I know that can happen. Okay, everybody. I hope you all had fun. Come check out more. I'm going to be setting up better videos and quality of things. I will have, like for my son's video, JohnnyTronic, I probably will be editing quality video because he likes to have the bells and whistles in there. And I love my boy. Cool, everybody. Thank you so much. Come again soon. I will be back again tonight. I will be posting all this on my Facebook and Instagram so everyone can see that I will be going live at this exact time. Come back for more. I am a jabbering parrot of a human being. If you want to hear silliness, come chat with me and have fun. Thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. And peace.